Welcome to the tutorial for Module 6 of the Workplace Management course. This module introduces the implementation of physical work environments both in theoretical and practical terms. The theoretical part gives an overview of current workplace solutions, deals with the relationship between workers and workplaces, and explains the key requirements of a workplace in ergonomic terms. The practical part describes the design process itself in more depth and discusses the different phases of real estate development. This presentation introduces the most important types of spaces in an office environment. During this presentation, you will gain countless theoretical knowledge, all of which is aimed at creating a practical, ideal workplace for employees and employers. This process requires the cooperation of several professionals. After years of work, from initial ideas and theoretical considerations, and a result of lengthy consultations between investors, designers, building superintendents, and other specialists, the embodied knowledge that goes into designing an office building will be introduced to you in this course. This lecture will present how the different functions of an office building are connected in space. It will also show specific examples of the different types of space, their architectural formulation, interior design, types of furniture, and the meanings of colors and materials used. So let's start our journey. Designing an office building is a very complex architectural task. Numerous functions must be placed in it logically as defined by their mode of use, and ideal spaces must be created for them. National and international guidelines have been developed to facilitate the planning and implementation process. As a designer, an architect works with a large team which includes the client. Additionally, during the design process, the architect is in continuous consultation with a workplace strategy specialist. The main functional zones are both horizontally and vertically related to each other. Moreover, the basis of a building's organization is the circulation framework, which includes arrival points, group or individual workspaces, administration areas, storage facilities, dining areas, sanitary accommodation, recreational spaces, and other special areas. Among the design principles of a modern office buildings, we need to mention modularity, which allows for the flexible modification of the position of certain functional elements without significant construction work. In essence, this is the adaptation of spaces to specific projects that arise in the course of work. The first impression of an office building is gained when someone first enters it. This is almost always the reception and lobby area. This area of the building is passed through several times a day by everyone, and is perhaps the most characteristic part of the building. Its design reflects the philosophy of the company and its owner or owners. When a visitor arrives at an office building, they formulate a basic emotional attitude. As an employee, the arrival experience can have an impact on their whole day. Numerous architectural tools are available to shape these spaces. An increase in the height of the ceiling can create a feeling of spaciousness, which can be reassuring. Furthermore, the use of warm colors creates a feeling of homeliness. Natural materials such as wood and living plants make the environment friendly. General and local lighting significantly affect our sense of space. Although not visible in the picture, the scent and air condition of a space can have a considerable effect on the occupants. Moreover, as this is the receiving space from which we move on to our destination within the building, it is important to provide easy orientation. The main organizing force of each building is its circulation network. This special feature must be coordinated both vertically and horizontally. The spaces of vertical circulation, the stairs and the lifts, are concentrated in one location of the building, forming multiple cores, while the spaces of horizontal circulation make up the floor plan. In modern office buildings, the corridors have been replaced by integrated circulation zones, which can be distinguished from the rest of the building by the use of furniture room dividers, floor coverings, and other optical solutions. An exception to this is the evacuation routes in case of an emergency, which are designed to be lockable and smoke-free. Due to the complexity of the floor plan of an office building, it is often difficult to navigate. Various techniques can be used to aid in this difficulty. In some office buildings, signs are placed on the wall to guide individuals. In other places, guide strips on the floor coverings are used to help. Moreover, the purposeful use of colors makes it easier to find one's destination. Offices built in recent decades are increasingly characterized by their flexibility and the elimination of personal workspaces. Often in the morning, when employees arrive at work, they will know in reception which floor they will be on and at which desk they will be working at. There aren't any permanent locations to store one's personal belongings, such as clothes or work equipment. In order to adapt to this new situation, the design of storage spaces has all changed. Instead of a desk drawer, there are storage islands available for employees to use at specific locations that are designated to specific working groups. However, there is also a solution where every employee gets a mobile office drawer that is kept in a central location, and they always push it to the desk where they are working. Locker rooms are also located to the given working group. However, these are separated and closed in order to ensure privacy when dressing. When designing all of these spaces, special care is also taken to ensure a feeling of homeliness. Areas for teamwork are perhaps the most varied within an office building. The variety for these workplace layouts matches that of the numerous types of work being undertaken. For those doing administrative stationary work, a permanent environment is important, while creative activities do not require this. Standing desks are ideal for young communicative workers who often leave their workstations. Smaller groups working together require an intimate environment separated by furniture room dividers. A large, neutral office space is ideal for a hot desk system, where no matter which desk you sit at, you will find the same design. Regardless of the type of workspace, one of the main considerations when designing a modern office is that the employees should feel comfortable and their environment should support healthy and productive work. Within an office, the activities of employees widely vary. Small teams are often put together to solve creative tasks. The efficiency of their work is aided by island-like booths within the office area, which, in addition to their comfortable design, have all the technical support required. It can be observed that the side walls of the booth extend above the height of the head and section it off from the other areas of the office in order to achieve maximum concentration for those working inside. Some of the staff are required to work on an independent task that requires deep concentration, so they have private, single-person booths available where they can do their job with almost complete exclusion from the rest of the office. However, as the number of boxes that can be designed into a space is limited, they are usually available through a booking system. Inside a noisy office, there are often activities that need to be done in complete silence. For example, when there is a telephone conversation with an important client, not only silence is needed, but there is also the confidential nature of the conversation that must be kept. This can be ensured by telephone booths, which are usually designed to be available for use by two working groups. Additionally, this booth also prevents the caller from disturbing their colleagues in the office while talking on the phone. These booths can also be used for private telephone conversations during break periods as well. The so-called meditative rooms are places for an occasional retreat of colleagues who do creative work and create high added value. Such employees often spend their time permanently deep in thought, almost seemingly idle, which can be misunderstood by their colleagues and create a feeling of awkwardness amongst the staff. These rooms provide them with an opportunity for undisturbed thinking. In the course of office work, it is necessary to convene countless meetings. Most common are internal company meetings attended by 3 to 4 colleagues. However, meetings with many participants and external partners are quite frequent as well. Some of the meetings touch upon confidential information, so a closed meeting room is required. Conversely, if a quick internal meeting is set up, even a dining room table is suitable. Large meetings are typically equipped with all necessary technical equipment and are comfortably furnished. On the other hand, there are smaller meeting spaces, some of which are only optically separated meeting points. These are often used by staff when they need to sit around a table for an informal meeting. Their architectural design is distinctive and easily recognizable in the office. Large meeting rooms usually operate on a reservation system, while smaller ones can be used spontaneously depending on their vacancy. Furthermore, writable, interactive wall surfaces placed in teamwork areas can effectively support communication between colleagues and are a good complement to ongoing work discussions. While decades ago the documentation work was done centrally and reproduction of materials took place in the documentation department, today all colleagues use copiers as part of their daily work. Today, almost every office worker has some level of computer skills to manage the ever-increasing user-friendly devices on their own. The decline in the price of copiers has allowed much smaller workplace units to have their own documentation island. The installation of this island must take into account the noise from its operation, as its continuous use must not disturb the performance of workers in the vicinity of it. As communication increasingly shifts to paperless technologies, the role of the documentation island within the office space is expected to diminish, and sooner or later it will disappear altogether. The machines are usually maintained by a contracted external company, but simpler tasks such as ink-cartridge replacements or paper jams are also sorted out by the users of such modern devices. Although the sanitary accommodation has always been a mandatory element of an office building, only the functionality of this space was ever taken into consideration in the past. Currently, one of the determining factors of employee satisfaction is high-quality, clean washrooms and toilets. Due to the fact that every worker uses it several times a day, an unpretentiously designed unhygienic washroom has a negative effect on work ethic and thus workplace performance. Young, environment-conscious colleagues often use alternative means of transport such as bicycles, scooters, and inline skates, so for them it is important to clean up after arrival, for example taking a shower and then changing into their office attire. Therefore, this aspect should also be taken into account when designing a modern office building. When designing the sanitary accommodation, the placement of pipes must be taken into consideration as they are fixed. Therefore, the bathrooms themselves are positioned vertically in the same place in the building. Usually they are placed within the spaces of vertical traffic in the inner core of the building. For a modern building design, sanitary accommodation, for the reasons mentioned above, is most ideally situated in the arrival and departure zone of the building. Furthermore, these areas are designed to provide sufficient privacy to the user and do not affect the facade of the building. Following general trends, the dining spaces inside the office have also been renewed. You can't sit behind a desk all day working in strict discipline. Research shows that a homely quality environment where employees are happy to spend their time has more positive impact on performance than ruthless austerity. The kitchenette is one of the most frequently used places during working hours. Today it has become a high-standard, mechanized homely space where we not only drink our coffee, but its design also makes it suitable for working while drinking that coffee. Larger office buildings are often also provide staff with meals. Dining rooms designed for this purpose can compete with restaurants not only in the quality of food offered, but also in the quality of interior design. Their operator is often an external catering company that sells food to the staff. However, there are some companies who have chosen to provide free meals to their employees. In either case, the office workers don't have to leave the building during the day and still have time for a quick and proper lunch. When an important deadline is fast approaching, employees may have to work overtime. The younger staff especially are ready to stay in the office even overnight and resume work with renewed vigor after an hour or two of sleep. For this purpose, single sleeping cabins are designed where it is possible to relax for a few hours in comfortable conditions. In addition, due to the strenuous pace of work, sometimes the office workers need to take a break and relax. A half hour of table tennis or table football will recharge the colleagues and allow them to return to work at maximum efficiency. It can be observed that in the field of intellectual, non-monotonous work where creative performance is expected, occasional recreation activities are not used by colleagues to evade work, but rather to recharge. Furthermore, after a tiring day of work, employees like to use the company's fitness room, as they can save time by avoiding a trip to the gym, and it doesn't cost them a thing. Employee retention is an important task for every company. Childcare provided by a company is an ideal solution for young, family-oriented colleagues. This service has several benefits. In the morning, the worker does not have to travel to a kindergarten or nursery school in another part of the city, but rather can go straight to work, saving up to 1 hour of travel. In addition, the child is available to the employee all day. If an office worker is unexpectedly delayed at work, then they don't have to worry about getting to the kindergarten in time to pick up their child. This service is also very helpful for parents who only need to take care of their children on a one-off basis. If the company provides childcare for free, it saves the employee the high cost of childcare and at the same time increases employee loyalty. New office buildings usually have a flat roof design. This provides an excellent opportunity to create a multifunctional roof terrace. It is always a special experience to admire a cityscape or the landscape surrounding a building from a height. A rest zone can be set up here where employees can take in good weather when available. If size permits, a roof terrace can also accommodate a running track or sports facilities. If a restaurant is located on the top floor, it can be expanded to have a garden with a breathtaking panorama, and it could also be a favorite venue for corporate events. Periodically, even outdoor workplaces can be installed here, which would certainly improve the spirits of colleagues when good weather is abound. Moreover, probably all the features listed so far would fit together on the roof surface of a major office building.